Okay, at the Backyard Bistro with my buddy, Sean Mitten, who's been so gracious to be hosting me this week, opening up his home, him, Melissa, and young Tyler. And here we are, again, I have to say, lots of Leaf fans pouring into the bar, which is the bistro, which is very good food here, by the way. PNC is across the street. But there is always some dope that's got to wear a sweater from another team that isn't playing, and of course it had to be a Montreal Canadian fan. No surprise. Sean, again, thank you so much for having me and hosting me this week. Now, you are an Ontario-born boy. You're living here in Carolina, so the Canes are now your fan, but you have a bit of an affection for the Maple Leafs.
Absolutely.
What are one of the things that you remember as a Maple Leaf fan growing up? One of your memories, or a couple of your memories?
Yeah, well, growing up, I was a huge Mike Palmateer fan, and I ended up playing hockey for about 8 years, and I was a goalie, and everything I would do would probably emulate Palmateer. But I remember a couple things. One is certainly we had a family trip down to Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens. We had a Saturday night. We stayed downtown, and I remember the Leafs were playing the Capitals, and it ended up being a game where the Leafs pounded the Capitals 10-0. It's pretty rare that you see a 10-0 game, and to have your two of your favorite stars, Palmateer and Daryl Sittler, play a big role in that. That was pretty cool. That was pretty impressive on me. And then also, I remember 1977, the game where they upset the Islanders, and I'll never forget the Lanny McDonald goal. But as big as the McDonald goal, Palmateer kept them in the game the whole way. So that's a game that I'd love to see in archives. So those are probably two big memories for me.
Well, it's funny you mentioned, I heard Brian Trottier get interviewed the other day, and he mentioned that series with the upset of Toronto, and he mentioned that it was Palmateer that was the difference in the series.
Yeah.
And he did talk about that.
And full circle on Palmateer. Growing up in Georgetown, Ontario, we had a junior B team, the Georgetown Raiders. And coming back from North Carolina over the holidays to Georgetown, in watching one of the games, I turned behind me, and up behind me 2 rows was Mike Palmateer scouting for the Leafs.
That's pretty
So during the second intermission, I went back and I said, excuse me, sir, would you be Mike Palmateer? And I just thanked him for all his service with the Leafs and how many good memories it presented for me. So it was a thrill to see Mike Palmateer, and I asked him if he still ate popcorn like he did before the games. and he had a chuckle about that.
That's great, Sean. Thanks, my man.